Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back here to my channel where I play Planet Zoo. My name is Nessa and today we are gonna look at the Fossa, which for me, I never heard about before the Madagascar movies. So since we are doing kind of a Madagascar theme at this point, why don't we look at the Fossa? And I didn't actually think there were a mod for it. But that's just because I apparently can't spell Fossa. But here it is, and it's made by Bubblywums and LeafProductions. I know sometimes I say Leaf and sometimes I say Leaf Production. I think it's the same person. However, I say what they put in the credited section on Nexus. So whatever they write in there, they can write their normal name or their mother name or a third name for some weird reason. They can do what they want. I say what is this on the side no matter what. And please don't fuck with me in the future because I said this. But the Fossa is this very weird animal. I think it's the biggest carnivore on Madagascar. But it clearly have this feeling that it would never survive if the Madagascar at some time got attached to mainland Africa. Because a lot of bigger animals wouldn't give it a chance, to be honest. It is very weird. Me and my mom just had a conversation. Is it a cat? Is it a dog? Is it a mouse? Some of its face looks like a mouse. What is it? But it's a Fossa, and that's what we're gonna look at. The picture here is quite beautiful, if you ask me. You can both find them in a redder coloration or a darker coloration, a more grayish coloration. So we will also take notice of what the mothers chose to do with it. But keep in mind that there are a few different colors, but all of the colors are made so you actually don't notice them. I chose this picture because it's clear to see it here, but a lot of the pictures, they kind of just blend in with the background, whether that's a rocky area or up in a tree or in a wet forest, the bottom of a wet forest with the brown leaf on the ground, and they just fit in everywhere in the coloration, and that's is something. However, as you can see, it has this lighter part here on the chest. It didn't seem like all of them did, but some of them it was I couldn't really see, and some of them did have this lighter part. They have these canine, which again, when you look at them, they aren't that terrifying. These giant canines we have seen with other animals, but they are there. And again, the animals they hunt here, they aren't going to hunt a buffalo, of course, because they are smaller carnivores, but they are still the biggest. And I even found a documentary. I didn't see it first. I plan to see it at some point, called Fossa, the King of Madagascar, which again at this point I'm really intrigued about this animal. So yeah, let's click there and get into it. And we have quite a few in here because I just let them breed. And as you can see, it seems we have a few colorations. Again, some of them is adult, some of them are babies, but it isn't this big changes color. It's not like one of them is pink or something like that. I would love that anyway. But they do have these brown nude colors to make them blend in, basically. So when you build a habitat for these, you can either go to where you can give them a habitat where they blend in, which would be why they have this color, but that would make it more difficult for the guests, but more fun for the Fossa. However, you could also do the opposite, give them a lot of color in the habitat so they really stands out. Again, I'm not saying you should do one or the other, it's just two very different routes to go with the same animal. However, it is a vulnerable animals and the population in the wild is unknown, which I find a little bit weird. Mainly because it's a Fossa, it lives on one island. You should be able to count them. But I'm not sure if there's maybe an area where people just don't go where they are or something like that. Some animals you have a very concrete number of, and some of them you simply don't. But they are from Madagascar, which is this island down here in South America. Sorry, the South Africa. They live in tropical, temperate, and grassland biome. I didn't know there were grassland anywhere around there, but it gives you a lot of opportunity, again, with foliage plants, what you want to do with the habitat. One of them need 120 square meters of land and 20 of climbable area. They live from 6 to 42 degrees Celsius, which should be you should be able to accommodate that in most zoos, in most biomes. Again, taiga, tundra, maybe not, put them inside then. But besides that, you should be able to do that, and they will be easier to keep because it is a smaller carnivore. It's still a carnivore, but they are smaller and they don't need the same amount of space as the lions or the tigers or wolves or something like that. So they are easy to keep compared to that. Not easy to keep, period, but easy to keep compared. You need a grade 2 fence, but it should be climb proof and 10 feet tall. That's just above 3 meters. Only 1 male, 1 female, or 1 of each. No dominance. They are promiscuous, they are shy, and guests should not enter the habitat. I can imagine why. The males grow to 5 feet 5, and the females only 5 feet. That's around 1.40 and 1.60, 70, something around that. They reach sexual maturity after 2.5 years, and they can reproduce until they turn 15. They will give between 1 and 4 offspring every second year and be pregnant for 3 months. And they should be quite difficult to get to reproduce in captivity. I didn't have any issues with it, but that doesn't mean that there aren't any. I didn't expect them to have interspecies enrichment. We're gonna take the enrichment in here because I forgot. So we have both cardboard boxes, rubbing pad, but it just seems that it's only the one variation. Then we have the scratching post, blood scent marker, ice block, sprinkler, rubber doggy, the tree small ball, and the scratching trees. And for food enrichment, we have the pinata zebra and the frozen blood pumpkin. It does seem like it may be made on a cat rack of some kind, maybe the lynx or something like that. Maybe, I'm not sure. But at this point, the only animal we have that it's close to this is the gerundi from South America, I think. Again, up here, the climate is very funky, but please take a look at this. They are climbing, all of them are climbing. Now it's dinner time, so now they get. Again, that's the game. That's not the mud. Don't blame the mud for that. So they will spend a lot of time up there, which I really appreciate because it is a climbing animal. They live in rock areas. They live in these beautiful trees where they can climb up. Even though they are the biggest carnivore down there, they still are threatened by humans or disturbances. Again, not all, most carnivores are actually kind of shy, and not necessarily shy like if you have them in a zoo shy, but more like if there's a very noisy city over there, I don't want to be there. I want to get away. I want to hide a little more, and that's natural for a lot of animals anyway. When we get into it, we have this beautiful brownish color here. I just want to, because I didn't feel like I got different colors when I bought them, but it is possible that I got different colors, just didn't notice. That's a male, so if I do this, then we should have, I bought 4 of them. Yeah, here you can see the different colorations. So this over here is a little more, not orange, but it have this warm tones in it, like orange have. more orangey brown compared to these that are very cold tone. They seem also have this drawing here where they have the lighter part, and I think the facial expression overall is good. I just want to mention again, this is one picture. I found a lot of them. So overall, I feel like they got everything that me and my mom was weird about. They have these kind of bare ears, which also make their face a little mouse-like because they have that elongated snout. I feel like some of them, the pictures I found, the snout were more narrow, but basically not all of them did. And again, the mothers probably didn't look at the exact same pictures as I did. The eyes though, the eyes, I can't see if it's the sun shining, so it's only over here we have the color or what it is, but it would look beautiful hiding in a dark corner or something like that. You see, we have the tint of the brown over here, but not the same as we have there. It's just gonna, because the sun is hitting differently here. Here you can see the eyes seems completely dark, so I think it has something to do where the sun is. Which are very, very well done. I'm gonna go back to look at this because it has the most light on its face, I feel like. The carnivores down here, sorry, canines down here we talked about a little before. They are there, they are big, but it's not like you are terrified of them. But they are there and they are definitely bigger than my cats. We have all of these structures in here. We also have the texture of the snout. Please look at the snout. If you don't see this in full HD, please trust me. That kind of weird texture your dog, or not your cat actually, but your dog snout have these small markings on the snout almost. It have that here, which is very well done. We have the fur here. We actually have a it looks like we have a, what is it called? Humans also have them, you know, some of us have like some weird place on our head where the hair just chose to grow out in a circle. Those kind of stuff. It looks like we have that here actually, which give it a little more charisma, a little more personality. Then in here we have all of these beautiful structures of hair, and it looks like it built up. It's not only painted on this. We have the eyebrow, honestly, not necessarily a brow like we have hair there and not around it, but if you look here, it looks like the eye go in here and out here, and that makes that brow shape where all of the hairs come from in here and then have this position where they go outwards, so therefore they will get that eyebrow feeling. We have this very kind of bear dog cat got a third child, something around there. We have all of the whiskers, which I really appreciate. I know some mothers miss them sometimes. Not mentioning any names. The texture here is beautiful. It is a little blurry, but it's because it is a little fluffy. But it's not that blurry then we have a where we have an issue about it at all. The tail does this weird thing where it's thinner here than here. It's thicker here in the end. That's the animal. It's not the. It's also the mud, but the mud looks like this because the animal does. It's not like they did it by mistake, I think. We don't have any. We have claws actually there. It may be because the paw is placed downwards here. So we do have these small claws peeking through, and I do like we can see the strands of hair hanging down over it. It's not like they are stuck on the outside of the hair. Here they is placed inside or beneath the hair, which I really appreciate. So overall, this is very, very beautiful. It doesn't exactly look like the one we saw in Madagascar movies. But again, that's a cartoon. But they are quite beautiful. The babies looks pretty much the same. but they are a little more teddy bear-ish. Their ears are bigger compared. Okay, look at this eye. Spot what's missing over here. Either it have this where split eyes thingy. You know, some people have where one eye look one way and the other another way. Either this eye looks this way and this eye look forward, or they completely forgot the pupil over here. Which really isn't a big issue because you would never notice if you just play the game. But it's just something where you can pick on the modders. And again, both Leaf Production and Bubblywums are very experienced modders at this point who does a lot of great stuff for Planet Zoo mods. So I feel like they can take it. Again, I never had a conversation with them, but I do feel like they know they are good modders at this point. We have the thing here with the lines appearing and disappearing and appearing. It isn't on purpose you can see them, but that happens sometimes with mods. And it's just a charm of the game. The legs seems a little bit too short compared to the adult. But I do think the animal looks like that, but overall the baby have the same features. They also have this lighter drawing going up here. It is a little different. You can see the line here is more prominent and going up here under the ear, where here it goes up to the end of the ear instead of under it. And then the lighter face compared to the body and the lighter chest area, and also lighter paws actually. But again, we have the same beautiful texture on the nose, though I feel like the nose to fur part here isn't as good as it is on the adult. But you can clearly see this looks like a baby. It looks goofy. It have this different shape of the face. It's actually hard to see if you don't look for it. But here you can see we have this rounded go in, and then the snout go out, where this is actually more pulled together. And that is something that happens in some animals naturally. Again, I haven't noticed that on these. Doesn't say it's not real, it's just something I haven't noticed. But overall they look very childlike, very goofy-like, and I really like them. And I really want to build for them. But the guests can't enter, which I understand, but still. Again, the climbing animation aren't worse than the climbing animations from the game. It's the same animation, so therefore it's not because of the mod these things happen, it's because of the game. So again, when you have an animal like this that, as you can see, they don't do anything. They eat down here, and then they go up, and then they go down to eat and up again. So therefore, you will be more noticeable about these buggy climbings because they spend more time up here. But if you just want to play around with it and have a beautiful habitat and then move on, it won't be an issue. Again, modding is for people who wants the mod, and you can love this mod and not another, or the opposite way, maybe hate this mod and love another, and that's your right to feel like that. I can only tell you what I think about them. Oh, it disappeared again. The slow-mo actually pulls me off a little bit. But again, it's just how it is. It's how Planet Zoo work, and I don't think the climbing are going to get any better before we get a Planet Zoo 2, which I'm not sure if we're gonna get at all. I have a video on it if you want to check it out, but besides that, yeah, I actually recommend this mod if you want to use it, and if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. Anyway, guys, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you know the next time I upload a video. We'll hope to see you again either in the comments below or in the next video. Bye guys!